Hey all, double 1/8 Shadow here. So, we are about a week, 2 weeks out from the first BCS tournament coming up. And with that in mind, we're not going to be going over too many things specific to the meta here. There are actually quite a few things in terms of alt arts and bling that I want to go over, with just some other items as well. No particular theme today. It's just anything that I have found interesting. So, first thing is the collaboration for Cardfight Vanguard and Shadowverse Evolve. Well, we have a Cardfight Vanguard card that has a Shadowverse Evolve unit, and this is a generic perfect card that you can use in any deck. For those of you who have not played Shadowverse Evolve before, there is a card from set 1 called Bellringer Angel, which is a ward in that game, which effectively means your opponent can't make direct attacks on you, and instead has to attack this. Well, it's only fitting that Bellringer Angel ended up becoming a perfect card for a Cardfight Vanguard collaboration card. This was available as part of a collaboration tournament. I don't think it was the release tournament. I believe it was the starter deck tournaments. So if you participate in that tournament, you got this promo. It's available for $25 right now with 5 listings on the market. And the availability goes from $25 to $50 right now. There have already been purchases of this card for $25 and $26. Now again, this is literally just the same perfect card that you can pick up for any of your nations right now. It just happens to have a Shadowverse Evolve unit Bellringer Angel on it. So just keep that in mind when you go to pick this up. And I imagine, because there were a good amount of the release tournaments, that this was a participation prize, I believe, not a winner prize. So there should be a lot more out there. The Michiru Hazama front trigger that you got as part of the Master Deck set, well, there's only one listing for $24 right now. The market price has actually fallen off on this card, where initially it had sold up in the 30s. That was closer to when it was released, though, over 3 months ago. And for the most part, it has been selling in the $20 range. Lots of copies have been moving for $21 to $23. They've subtly made their way back upward to $25. And now there's only the one listing available on this. Then there is the critical trigger version. Because remember, you get these as part of a random promo pack from these master deck sets. So you're not guaranteed all 3 of the different triggers. You'll get one of them, or you have the chance to get one of them with a hot stamp signature. But this one has 5 listings available right now, and while the market price on this has also dropped off since 3 months ago, this one has been selling higher than the front overall, with a lot of $25 to $30 sales on the card. This is the only one of the triggers that features Hazama Michiru in his newest outfit for the Divine Deluxe arc. The other ones just utilize older artwork from the prior deluxe arts. And right now, with 5 listings available, it ranges from 30 all the way to 35 when you consider shipping and handling. One of the hot stamp Urara Haneyama triggers, this one is the front trigger. I'm kind of surprised that this one hasn't sold yet, given that it is Haneyama, so I thought at least someone would have picked this up, or maybe this is just toying around with me. No, nobody's picked this up yet. So the lowest listing on this card right now is about $141, and the highest listing is currently $200. And yeah, this low listing for it does have some pictures to go along with it, which looks like it is an English copy. Yeah. So, yeah. Just kind of surprised that this one hasn't moved at all when some of the Hazama Michiru ones have been moving around this price. Just point of note. Variance Ray Dragon, which is for Virgila. This one has been going down in value when it comes to its regular promo. The market price on that is about $28, but the lowest listing is now about $23. There are 14 listings on the market now. I had been talking about this card getting bought out here and there, so to see 14 listings on the market right now when the deck has come out is interesting. Although I have heard comment that you don't necessarily have to play this, or at least you probably don't end up playing this in a full 4 of. I can't say for sure. The foil version of Variance Ray Dragon has 5 listings on the market and is still about $43 to pick up. And if we take a look at the sales on this one, we have seen some more recent sales on it for just under $40, which is actually a drop off from this little segment here where we have 40 all the way to 50, almost $60. And so it's just moving back and forth in terms of its availability. Well, Cooling Heart Eureka really has cooled down in terms of all of its listings here, except for one of them, of course. The FFR is now available for $1,000 with only one listing on the market and a market price almost $700. And then all the other variants of Eureka right now are mostly just under $20. Some of them are just under $15 for their low-end listings. The market prices are all over the place. So that makes it what? 5 different base variants of Eureka that you can pick up now that we have the Festival 2025 reprint of it added to the mix. So it's become a whole lot easier to pick up, and I guess it's just... I anticipated that all of them would just end up sitting in the 20s again after some time, but I guess that's just not happening this time around. So we really are looking at a fallout, because a lot of the listings also have double-digit listings, and some of them are over 20 listings too. Even the full art one that you can get, that you could have gotten from a past BSF promo pack, has dropped off in price and is now at a base of $45, where it was on its way upward to $80. And don't forget that the Koro Koro decks, the Koro Koro booster pack has its own version of Eureka. Can't look into your eyes, Akamine-san. This one, compared to the other ones, is higher in value, though. This is over $30 to pick up at its lowest, with 6 listings on the market. And we did see some sales a few days ago in the $30 range, but there were some before that were all in the $15 range. Now, this is a Koro Koro rare, so it does have that sort of bling aspect to it, but it's also about whether or not the artwork is appealing. And honestly, I see value in this one, but ultimately, I still prefer Eureka's original artwork. Ezerwur for Vergila as well. Just taking a look at where it's at, because this is one of those cards where we got the Zero Tendo deck just now, but we also had the original Vergila structure deck that we got before. And between the two of them, there are different foil versions of this card to pick up. The foil version from the Stardust Blade version is currently $11 with a market price of around $8.50, while the TDR from the recent Zero Tendo deck has a low listing of $40 and a market price of $29. So if you don't really care to pick up, if you don't really care as much about what type of foiling it is, the original Stardust Blade one is somewhat cheaper, or quite cheaper. However, one aspect of the TDR here is that it's got a whole lot less text, on top of it being the shatter foil as opposed to just being like a blanket foil. Or if you just don't want the foiling at all, the card is available for chump change. The highest price for its common is a market price of just over 50 cents. Honest Rendition Sinceriete, which this was supposed to be one of the big chase cards out of Divine Set 8. At this point, it's just Drag Raider Niram. But do keep in mind that the number of listings on the Triple Rare and Silver Rare are starting to thin out right now. It's $18 right now for the Triple Rare with 5 listings on the market. And the silver rare is currently about $19 with 9 listings on the market. And this one has had its market price drop off from 27. So Leonorn will be coming in DivineZ 11 with its new support. So by the time that comes out, there could be some more hype for it, but we'll just have to see. Artisaria didn't get anything too groundbreaking this time around, so there hasn't been any real massive gain in terms of its support cards. One of the items, Angelic Echo Luminol, which is from DivineZ 8 as well. I had been talking about this one being on the rise here and there, but it's really not taking off too high, and it always ends up getting some listings back on the market. The silver rare and the triple rare both have double-digit listings right now. The triple rare is almost $5 at its lowest, and then the silver rare is currently about $8 at the low. The double frame rare is available for $33 at its lowest. As for Artisaria's DSR, this one has been dropping off quite a lot. This used to be $500 to, I think, even $800 at some point. And now the lowest listing available is $395. The highest that this is sold for from months ago was $560. The most recent was back in early August at $500. Now there are 2 listings just underneath $400, and then we have a number of listings that are in the $400 range. So the card has been dropping off quite a bit from its highs and hype. Eilift Gullmani, which is Vesegur's order card from DivineZ 7. The frame rare has less than 10 listings available. There are 7 right now, so I wanted to see where this is going price-wise. There's a lightly played copy on the bottom end for $4, and this card has been selling for a range of $4 all the way to $7 from this month, with a decent amount of copies moving. As for its availability, the highest listing is $16, and otherwise it's a $4 to $10 card amongst the remaining listings. And on top of that, every listing only has 1 copy. Vesegur is looking to be a more popular build come DivineZ 10, so if you haven't picked this up and you want it blinged out, it might be a good idea, given that... I don't know if it's a tech versus a real necessity at this point, but at the very least, it might be a good idea to have 1 or 2 of these. The rainbow generators have really been on and off in terms of whether or not they're big. Like I talked about the Dragon Empire one the other day, but then there's Stoicheia, which is Sea Rainbow Dragon Oranioxo. I think that's how you say his name. In any case, that one has 21 listings on its triple rare with a base of $5 right now, which has had a market price fallout where it used to be over $8. It's now almost $6, but all the listings that have been selling, most of them have been selling for $6. And when it comes to its availability, lots of them are available for $6. And yeah, it's basically a $6 card at this point. If you pick this up really early on, I think it was only $2 or $3 at the time. So at $6, it's not that big of a gain, but there was a point where this actually managed to get over $10. Just a note, Bellicosity Dragon from DivineZ 6 is also moving upward. 12 listings on the market for the triple rare, and it's now almost $10. The market price has risen. 3 months ago, it was close to $6. Now it's over that, but it had dropped off to about $5 in August. And now the listings, which had been going for about 4 to 5, are now going for 7 to 10. So, yeah, I would say that this is mainly because of the fact that the new Overlord support's going to be coming, and Bellicosity is effectively a shoo-in in that deck. Dissection Angel is starting to move back up in value and starting to run out of listings on its triple rare. This is DivineZ 9. 16 listings on the market, $24, $25 for now. And we've seen a lot of movement at $22 to $25. Someone even bought a $30 copy the other day. but there are still a lot of copies available for around 25. So it's not at its hype pricing that we saw before, but it is going back up. Sugary and Scaryland Heartluru, which had been spiking in value because of its initial buyout, is starting to go back down and has more listings back on the market now. $15 is its lowest price, with 20 listings on the market. The market price is still around $16, $17, and there are a lot of copies for around $15 right now, and they still continue to move up to the $17, $18 range. Heartluru is looking to be one of the popular decks for this format, so just to keep in mind. Direful Doll Finlay, which is also DivineZ 9, is not expensive to pick up for its triple rare. It's about $2 with 35 listings on the market. The silver rare is currently about $6.50 with 14 listings. And then you have the FFR, which is $40 at its lowest, which is a far cry from its market price of about $67.50. It's effectively a combination of Flaming Pony and Gungunram, and it adds on an extra 5k bonus to itself in the situation of your opponent being grade 3. But it's not as popular as some of the other generics. It could have its time, but we'll see. And one other note is that 10th Fault has been falling out. Now you can pick up the card for about $20. This is the original from set 11. The market price is currently about $26. The Coral rare version of it, Utsuki Goku-kun, is now the most expensive sort of base rare on the market, I guess. It's got 6 listings starting from $28. The Dealer's Big Strategy version has 5 listings that are at least $16. And there are 17 listings of the original 10th Fault. Even the double frame rare of the original 10th Fault has been falling too. It only has 9 listings, but now the lowest price is $95. So it's still up there, but not as up there as it used to be. Thank you guys for watching. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys later.